Today we are going to be talking about one of the premier superheroes in the comic world, especially in Marvel and X-Men, and that is Storm. And a lot of people know Storm. She is a flagship character in the X-Men series. You can see her in the movies and most incarnations of the X-Men, whether it's movies or TV shows. So Storm debuted in Giant Size X-Men all the way back in 1975. And a little bit after that, Chris Claremont took over as writer for Uncanny X-Men, and that is pretty much where the gist of Storm's backstory and her whole deal comes into play. A little backstory on Storm. Her mother was a princess in a tribe in Kenya, and her father was a photojournalist. And she was born in Harlem, and her name was Aurora Monroe. And the family was there for a time until they moved to Cairo in Egypt. So they lived in Egypt until the Suez Crisis, in which both her parents were killed, leaving Storm an orphan. And during this attack, Storm was buried under all this rubble, and she has a huge fear of confined spaces. Like, she's very, very claustrophobic because of this event that happened really, really young in her life. After being orphaned, she was kind of on the street, and she learned some street skills such as being a thief, and that is how she met Professor Xavier for the first time, because she pickpocketed him. That's kind of where he first picked up on Storm, that she had a lot of potential to be great. Once Storm is grown and is an adult, she is being worshipped as a goddess, and that's kind of where Xavier finds her again after all those years and recruits her for the X-Men. She has the power to control the weather. She can manipulate nature, essentially. So she can just control, like, the wind and the rain and the storms and make lightning and all these cool things, and she can control wind currents, which is how she has the ability to fly or seemingly fly, and her powers are not even fully realized. So Storm could be even more powerful than she already is, and she's already one of the most powerful mutants in the X-Men continuity. She's considered an Omega level mutant, which is the top of the top as far as mutant abilities are concerned. She also is very sensitive and attuned to the natural world, so her emotions play a big part in the weather. So she really has to work on controlling her emotions, because if her emotions are out of control, she could wreck the whole planet, or she'll cause like freaking class 5 storm somewhere. That is one trait of Storm that I always thought was cool. She was very comfortable with who she was as a being, with her powers as an X-Men, with her body. She was just not as emotionally tortured as some of these other characters with like their powers and their abilities and these things that were going on in their lives. One of the reasons that I really want to talk about Storm is because I feel she is underutilized and underrepresented in her current incarnation as far as shows and movies and things like that. Yes, they included her character, and she was played by an award-winning actress, but she wasn't really portrayed as Storm. Like, she wasn't really given the level of respect or level of tier characters, if you will. Storm, she definitely deserves to be a more prominent character in the story and have her abilities and what she can do and what she actually brings to the team of the X-Men shown in a positive, strong, and more important way. Some of Miles's abilities include superhuman strength, superhuman durability, agility, superhuman reflexes, wall crawling, spider sense,